Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and here I am. This is actually, originally this house was built as a beach house, like a cottage. So there's some interesting design things like the ceiling here that basically has no insulation in here and things like that. So it was not actually ever intended to be occupied in the winter months. And it's got these, I'll show you the windows when I get there. Yeah, was never intended to be lived in year round actually. But anyway, now this house, which is right at the beach, basically almost actually across the road from the lake, the lot alone was probably worth a couple of $1 million. It's not even that big, but so the house itself has no value really. But anyway, the lady who lives next door to this lives in a great big fine house, pretty new house. She owns this and she's renting it out. And I was in here about a year or so ago, and it was very badly stained up and everything. And I don't recall this area being stained up, but there's a little doggy living in here, so I think these are quite fresh urine stains. And there was a whole bunch of bad stains in here. There's a couple of fresh ones here. It's pretty soiled over here now again, but this area, I don't recall this being marked up like it is now, and these all look like fresh peepees. And I got this area over here down the hall. Oh, I was going to show you the windows. Yeah, see these the glass slides, and then I guess the other there's another glass on the other side there, and it slides too, and it's just basically there's virtually no insulation there. Well, there's none. All leaky air and everything. Anyway, this carpet's actually not bad, and obviously, well, maybe it's the same age as this, but it's much better condition. I remember when I cleaned it, this was all empty. And then over here, I think I actually recorded this when I did it before, although I don't remember. But there were some very nasty stains in here. Most of them are still gone. I think that's a new one. And there's some more fresh peepees here, but there were some very bad stains overall. So I don't think that any of the really nasty stains did reappear, but we have some fresh ones. The guy has been living in here with this little, what do you call her, pug? A little black pug. She's a real cutie, though. We'll forgive her for her little accidents. Anyway, let's clean the carpet. This will be my last job of the day. And, pretty nice. This is my only afternoon job, so anyway. I've got my normal Nanomax in there, but I boosted it with Oxy-All. I figured that with the peepees on there that it would benefit from a little extra peroxide. With a peepee there. Peepee gone. Oh, I can still see it a little bit. I think I put about 4 ounces or so of Oxy-All in there. I haven't been using the Oxy-All for very long. I've only had it for a few weeks actually, but where I do use it, it's definitely got a place. It's basically going to boost my peroxide level. Ooh, look at that, looking good. Now there was another big peepee or two over here. A great big one and another one. So let's see what happens. I did, right underneath me, I did spray them with Proxy before I got here too. So they've got extra peroxide on there. So and this is a olefin commercial level loop type carpet. That's a good carpet. Good wearing. Usually cleans up pretty nice. Never is a problem cleaning. At least I don't find a problem cleaning it. It certainly Can be prone to wicking if you're steam cleaning it. But and when I'm cleaning it, I'm just trying to address this by applying just enough. I'm just applying the solution a little bit, and then going over and letting the agitation of the Oxy fiber pad really do the work. But try not to wash anything into the backing of the carpet. I know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And water is our friend, and water is also our enemy. So just bear that in mind. When you're doing VLM, you want to try to be VLM. You know, I remember back when I was using the host system. This is one of the things that I sort of had locked into my brain, because when using the host system, they were adamant when we did our training, because we had actually host representative came and worked with us right at the beginning. And host is in case those of you don't know what I'm talking about, host is a powder system and uses CRB machines. You can look it up. And it uses ground up corn husks, which are impregnated or damp with cleaning agents and solvents, etc. Anyway, one of the things that they were absolutely fanatical almost about was they were very much against spraying any water. You know, they were just determined that as soon as you put water onto the carpet, you got a problem, because it was all about you're going to dissolve the soil, it'll run into the back, and then it wicks back up at you, and that's a major problem. And that is not without merit. So I've always, when I started Oxy-Dry and started using and cleaning the way I am with the shower feet and everything, I've always got that really in mind, that particularly on this type of carpet, very low pile, an olefin which does not absorb hardly any water. Basically, when you put water on an olefin, it'll go right down to the bottom of the pile, like almost instantly. So you want to be very careful not to get it too wet, actually. So, I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing here. This is the amount of solution I'm applying here. You can see me using the valve here in my left hand there. It's critical. If you really want to be precise about what you're doing. Now I did give it a very light spray of peroxy in this area because there's so much urine here, but just enough to get it a little bit damp. But I'm always conscious of the physics of what's happening on the carpet. And if I'm successfully removing this the soil off the carpet with the agitation of this pad, I don't need to add more water than I need to get that accomplished, because that's where you have the potential to actually create a wicking issue. And look how all this urine staining here is just disappeared. I think that the most important aspect of when you're cleaning is to really understand what you're actually doing. Like, when you understand what you're doing, then you can be successful at it. And see, the problem is that many guys who come from a background of hot water extraction, they answer for everything to them. I don't want to be offensive, but those of you guys who've been steam cleaners, you'll understand what I'm about to say. But the thinking is always put more water on it. flush, 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 flush. We're not flushing the carpet. This method is not actually flushing much. We're trying to dissolve the solution, or dissolve the soil with our cleaning solution, and then transfer it out onto the pad. Instead of using water and gallons of it to flush, we're using the agitation with just enough moisture to dissolve the soil, but not over wet the carpet and have it the soil washing into the backing, and then having it, once it's in suspension, and usually you're going to do it with a fiber pad first and then go over the carpet where it's still damp with a cotton or microfiber pad, if that's what you prefer. But the key is to keep the soil under control. Don't let the soil the carpet get so wet that the water will go down into the backing, because you cannot remove it from the backing. Just giving it an extra scrub. I'm just applying just a little bit more moisture as I'm going. Okay, now I'll go back to the beginning of the video and take a look at what this looks like compared to what it now looks like. Okay, so we're gonna switcheroo. That's, by the way, a melted mark in the carpet. I think, well, that's what it feels like anyway. It's a dent and everything, so. Oh, put that there. Hey, by the way, a little social commentary for those of you guys who have been aware of this, and I know that any of my Canadian watchers are certainly aware of this. Oh my goodness. Oh, dear me. The day that shall live in infamy when our incredibly inept leader and leadership got up in the House of Parliament and applauded a member of the Waffen SS right there. Isn't that incredible? You know, it's amazing, because they did announce that the guy, you know, he was a Ukrainian hero who fought against the dreaded Russians, fought for his freedom. No, he fought for the Nazis, and if you go back and take a look at the history, it was the Nazis who attacked Russia. Remember, they had an agreement that, you know, no what's that word? Anyway, they agreed. You know, Hitler made that agreement with Stalin, and oh yeah, we'll leave you alone. We'll just take care of Europe. And Stalin was quite content with that. And next thing you know, well, Hitler betrayed that, of course, and Hitler and all of his Nazis attacked Russia. And anyway, in the end, of course, Russia did prevail, because Russia was, you know, they were on the side of the Allies and fighting against the Nazis. And anyway, so unfortunately, nobody was paying attention when they announced that they were congratulating this man who was a freedom fighter fighting against that nasty Russia in World War II, but nobody put two and two together, and right in the moment, realizing that obviously, if he was fighting Russia, he was, you know, with the Nazis. And of course, he wasn't just a Wehrmacht or, you know, common soldier. He was actually in the elite Nazi volunteer corps or battalion or whatever they call it. You know, he was right up there. So anyway, and now Poland is calling for this guy to be extradited to Poland to face war crime charges. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, but Trudeau did apologize. He got up there in Parliament today and he said, "We're all sorry. We all, in the House, we all made a mistake. Whoopsie." Wait a minute. You didn't all make a mistake. You did, Mr. Trudeau. It's kind of like, I remember somebody saying, actually it was my ex, saying that she was sorry for all the things that, if what she had done many years ago had hurt me. So, gee, does that mean you weren't sorry if it didn't? But by the way, I did. But anyway, so that was the apology. So anyway, and that's what's going on in the world today, in our world, in Canada, and we're all the more embarrassed by the leadership of this land. But what can you do? And by the way, in case you guys are wondering how he actually ended up in power, he's in power because the majority of Canadians voted the Conservatives in because of the way our system works. Because some voted for the Liberals, which is what the Trudeau is, and also the NDP, which are like the socialist gang. They pooled their collective votes together, and together the two of them equal more than the majority, actually, of what Canadians had wanted, and that's why we have that's why they're in power. So in other words, the Liberals would not be in power without the support of the NDP party, because the majority of Canadians did not vote for Liberal. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, we hope that this will turn out to be the final straw, as it were, because there have been many very embarrassing things that our illustrious leader has done since being in power, and has really caused a lot of great problems in our country with his leadership. But anyway, that's the way it goes here, you know. Seems like that's happening all over, isn't it? Anyway, let's I thought I just mentioned Canadian politics. But anyway, there you go. So you see that, I mean, I'm just going to be a simple carpet cleaner and try to make the world a cleaner place. That's all I can do. It's looking wonderful, isn't it? Okay, I'll let you go. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.